So the question is, when should you get a financial advisor? Should you get a financial advisor? First of all, I would say that in best of worlds, you would get your first advisor, financial advisor, as your parents. That your parents would advise you when you got your paper route or your first job as to how you might spend that money or how you might invest that money, and then it would go from there. Then again, I think another key point is when you graduate from college and you start pursuing a career. Another key point is when you get married, and then another key point is when you have a child. Because again, each of these events create a time frame where a financial advice is important. And you got to recognize financial advice covers a lot of spectrums, more than just where do you invest your money. Because I think a lot of people think of financial advice purely as an offensive sport. That is, I'm going to invest my money so that I can make more money. It's also a defensive end of it. What if you have a child and a spouse and you pass away? What happens? These are questions that need to be answered, and they can be answered by a financial advisor, and that's what the real value of a financial advisor is. I am of the personal belief that if you want to invest, you can learn that yourself. You can probably do it for yourself better than some professional is, because really the financial advisor is merely going to turn your money over to a fund, a mutual fund, an ETF, and they're going to diversify you, and your money's just going to kind of grow. Hopefully. You can do that just by investing in an S&P 500 fund at an early age, or you can invest like I invest in those companies that are going to change your life. So again, let's go back to the question of when should you get a financial advisor, and what is the best advice that financial advisor could give you. And I think the best advice and this was my mother-in-law's advice to me, but I didn't take it, was live below your means. In other words, don't spend everything you make. Don't feel that your main objective is just to generate cash flow so that you can buy the things you want. No, that's not the way to go about it. I believe generate cash flow with the purpose of building wealth. And what do I mean by building wealth? Well, I would ask you, who are the wealthiest people you know or you know of? And in my generation, the wealthiest people I knew I don't know them personally, were Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Sergey Brin, and Larry Page. That's Google. The other two were Apple and Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. And Jeff Bezos from Amazon. Well, why do I mention them? Because I can invest in their companies. Still, I can invest in their companies. And then I would add Elon Musk to that more recently. These are very intelligent, very focused, very smart people who have built an organization around them that are money machines. And you have the privilege of buying shares in their company and growing with them. So I would want to, if I'm a father and I'm smart enough at this point, I'm not saying that I did when I was a father of a young family, advise them that you have the ability to partner with people like Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, and the new ones who are coming up the pipeline. And all you got to do to figure out who the new ones are is read. Read the Wall Street Journal, watch the business news, and see what's happening in the world you're in. We're in a world right now that is changing rapidly. Back in the 80s, It was the digital revolution. And then it was in the 90s, it was the e-commerce revolution. And then in the early 2000s, it was the social media revolution. And then in the 2010s, it was the electric vehicle revolution. Well, as a result of the rapid fire, these revolutions are now coming more than every 10 years apart. We're right now in the healthcare revolution because our world woke up to the fact that we were hit by a pandemic, and this can never happen again. This was comparable to World War II. And after Hitler and the Japanese invaded everybody, the Allies got together and said, this can never happen again. And the world order was created that we know today. Well, that's happening again as the world's powers are coming together and saying, this can never happen again. And we're going to have a healthcare revolution. Well, if you'll identify the companies that are going to lead us into that healthcare revolution, you can partner with them and become very wealthy. So that's a part of financial planning that you can take on for yourself. There's other revolutions that are occurring. The supply chain revolution, the China revolution. Where are we going to fit with them? These are all ways that you can partner and make money. But that's not all financial planning is about. There are vehicles within our tax structure that help you, if you know about them, to achieve other financial goals, such as the education of your children and 529 programs. If you don't know what a 529 program is and you have children that you're going to educate, you need a financial advisor. If you have a spouse and they work and you support your family and children, then you need life insurance. But if you don't know what kind of life insurance, you need a financial advisor. If you have a child and you need a will, who's going to take care of that child if you and your spouse both get killed in an automobile accident this weekend? You need a financial advisor to sort through that and help you come to a conclusion and then make a will. That's a reason you need a financial advisor. So I would suggest you need a cash reserve. I mean, we just got through a pandemic. A lot of you probably got laid off and you didn't have any money coming in. So you need a cash reserve. Where do you keep that money? How do you manage that money? Maybe you do, maybe you don't need a financial advisor for that, but you need to think in those lines. What about your investments in education, in big purchases? If you're a young couple and you want to buy a house, where should you put that money to build that for that down payment? Should you be in bonds? Should you be in municipal bonds? What's the difference between a corporate bond and a municipal bond? What's the tax advantages? What's an IRA as opposed to a Roth IRA? What's a 401k as opposed to a 403b? And then when your company offers you these 401ks, what should you invest them in? Maybe you need a financial advisor. Again, maybe it's your dad. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your grandfather. Maybe it's a YouTube video. But you need financial advice. And truly, the most important financial advice I think I have ever learned is, my goal is not simply to generate cash flow, to get a good job, get a pay raise, get a good salary, and then fight for a pay raise, and then go find a better job that pays better and buy more stuff. No. Do all those things, but live below your means, like Pauline told me, and then accumulate wealth. If you have an inkling to, if the most valuable asset you probably own right now is your home. Well, why don't you buy another one and rent it to somebody and let them pay for it? And you take advantage of all the tax breaks that come with owning rental property. Now, you need to educate yourself so that you don't buy the wrong house, or you don't charge the wrong rent, or you get into something you don't know what you just bought. But that's where you need to make money. That's not just make money, but to build wealth. And we as Americans have a unique opportunity. We have a tax system that rewards people who make wealth. Jeff Bezos doesn't pay any taxes. Donald Trump didn't pay any taxes because our tax system rewards them. But if you don't know how to do that, then maybe you need a financial advisor. You don't have to pay through the nose for it. Just go, if nothing else, just go meet with them and say, okay, how do you get paid? And what can you do for what I'm going to pay you? What, and then have a list of questions. This is what I want to know. It's the same as having a doctor. You don't know everything that's going on in your body. Now, you can Google it, and you can find out a lot, but you don't have the ability to do the testing and make good decisions. And that's what a financial advisor can do for you. So, if you're young, ask your dad. And if your dad doesn't know, ask your grandfather. And if they don't know, go to YouTube and find something and educate yourself. And then go to the description, go to my investment channel, Best of Us Investors. And in there, in that description, I have some of the best books that you could read to educate yourself on how our world works and how our stock market works and how you can become wealthy. Take an initiative and then focus on that initiative and build your knowledge. I like to say that investing is a lot like playing poker. You're going to, if you go to Las Vegas and go to that back room where there's 9 people sitting around the table, and you sit down and you don't know what you're doing, and you're not one of the smartest 3 at the table, they're going to clean your clock. But investing's the same way. If you will educate yourself, if you'll read the book, The Accidental Superpower by Peter Zion, that will tell you exactly how we got to where we are now and where we're going. And then read the book, The Future is Faster Than You Think. And that'll give you a view of what's coming in the future. Once you have those 2 elements and you start thinking about what's the social economic system, the geopolitical system that we're currently under, and where are we going? And who's going to take us there? And how can I play in that game? Now, you're one of the smartest 3 at the poker table because you have focus, you have sustainability, and hopefully you're making a little money that you can invest. Okay. That's when you need a financial advisor. And if you got any questions about this, put them in the comments or email me. If you've had a bad experience with a financial advisor, tell me about it and I'll give you my comments. I'm a CFP, CHFC, and CLU. That's how I made my career as a financial advisor. I know the positives and I know the negatives. They can help you. But you first got to help yourself. Talk to you again soon.